Okay, I'll call this meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission to order.
So,
First order of business is approval of last month's minutes.
I motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any objections or comments? Any objections to unanimous approval? Seeing none, they're approved as read. And we thank Nick for doing the minutes. And I
Thank you.
think Nick has volunteered to take the permanent replacement of secretary.
All are
So,
happy.
thank you, Nick.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for that sole purpose. Okay, we'll move right along. We got Parks report.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Just jump right in here. A lot of we did some building maintenance stuff. We're still organizing as time permits our maintenance facility. A lot of equipment repair this month due to the snow removal that we had. Snow removal is probably the hardest thing on equipment, so we're still working through that, getting ready for the next snow that we may have. We're also getting all of our spring equipment ready to go for spring. So this is the time of year we change all the oils, do all the preventive maintenance stuff. So we're ready to take right off in the springtime with our equipment. Like I mentioned, we spent a lot of time clearing snow. So yeah, that it was interesting. That's for sure.
Wait for the warm weather.
Yeah. Saying that, with the snow, all that snow on the ice rink, it wasn't frozen, and it too much weight in it, and it split out. So we didn't get to use it one single time this year, but we're gonna just call it a total loss. And
oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that work.
yeah,
Oh.
so yeah, that's what happened to that 30 inches of snow on top of about an inch
Break
of ice.
But
Yeah.
Did it break the
Border.
structure?
Yep.
It's all broken too? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It pushed one side out, the lower end. So
So there'll be no ice skating this year.
no.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Mother Nature had another idea for us. So
That's too bad.
Yeah.
And in previous years, when was it open? Like in previous years, when, like in what period was the ice rink?
it all depends on when it gets cold enough. So some years it's earlier, and some years, like last year, I think we opened up right before Beat the Bitter.
Mm.
So we just haven't had
About
the
2
cold.
weeks, didn't we, last year?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks last
The
year.
first-
That's not even that long, but it's been so warm previous.
Yeah, the
It's been
first
a
2
weird
years.
Few years.
The first 2 years that we put it up, it was like, wow, this is great. Everything worked out great for it. And ever since then, it's been a little too warm. So
We remind everybody that in the next stage plans, there's a plan for ice skating. More of a permanent type ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Down the road.
still,
Ice skaters, keep your skates.
yeah, we're still dependent on Mother Nature. We it's not one of those fancy freeze system, no. However, I have been getting a lot of call from pickleballers wanting to use the courts. We're close
Those
for the
pickleballers
season.
are intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta love them.
I attended a lot of meetings this month. The city admin building is coming along. Centennial Park next stage. The building design. We met on the irrigation. I met with contractor in Shive Hattery on the irrigation system that's going to go out in the grass area in front of the stage. We just wanted to get a good plan on how that was going to go in. The Fox Run Park Pond Trail project, we're still making plans for that. So that project is still slated to go in August. And also met with Shive Hattery on the community center parking lot improvements CIP project. So hopefully in the future we'll get some parking lot improvements up there. In my spare time, I've been working on our employees' performance reviews. This time of the year, I go through and review all of our employees. Also on that office work, I've been working on FY 24-25 budget. We met with city council and city staff, city admin, and I think we're coming along pretty well. We had to make a few tweaks and changes, but I think it's looking pretty decent right now. So made a lot of good progress on FY 24-25 budget. Also, this time of year, we work with Kirkwood, the Parks and Natural Resource and Horticultural Department. We look for potential seasonal employees through them. They sometimes are internships, or seasonal help. We've also submitted our information to Iowa State, Mount Mercy, Cornell College, and Kirkwood. So hopefully we'll get some good employees this year. Last year wasn't too terribly bad. A few years before that, it was terrible getting employees, but last year was a lot better. So I'm hoping it's the same this year, getting employees. So, but it's that time of year already, so we got to start seeking employees. We hire approximately 12 seasonal employees in the summertime.
Any returning this year that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't communicated with them yet, but I will. I'll send out emails to past our last year's employees, just feel them out and see if they want to come back. So we normally typically get 3 or 4 back, every year. So, which would really be nice. So, let's see. Oh, and Beat the Bitter. We assisted with Beat the Bitter. We cleared a lot of the snow, the trails around it, and where they staged in front of the concession stand there. We cleared all that snow, and I had some staff that helped out with the bonfire. So it seemed like it went pretty well, considering.
It was fun.
Yeah. So, other than that, if you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to help.
So who empties the trash cans that are in front of Heinz? Is that your job?
Well, we made an agreement with them. They wanted trash cans there. However, it's their trash that's being generated. But we wanted it's our little parklet in front of them, our little plaza there. That's ours. But we just didn't want like Rubbermaid trash cans sitting out in front of that. So we purchased the trash receptacles. We're going to place them, and they're going to be responsible for changing out the trash. So
Okay.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And you really did make that area look so much nicer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It really cleaned that whole intersection up. It really looks nice. So it'll tie all in with the new city admin building. It's going to really be a nice area when it's all said and done.
Well, and it's right around all the historical homes.
Yeah.
And it's just cute.
Yeah. Exactly.
How many seasonal employees do you look for each year?
12.
12.
Right at 12. Yeah. Sometimes it's maybe 1 or 2 more. Sometimes if I have a hard time, it might be 1 or 2 less.
Is that like mowing and?
Mostly landscaping.
Yeah. Okay.
3/4 are a crew. That's all they do. Landscaping crews. So we have all the streetscapes, roundabouts, building sites. We've just have a lot of landscaping to get over.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't realize you drive by it. You have to go out there weekly because in a day there could be a 4-foot weed that grew up overnight.
Yeah.
So you have to stay up on that stuff. Otherwise, it gets a little unkept. So it's a weekly chore. Just keep going around and around. So
Are the internships, I assume they're unpaid?
no,
Or are they paid?
Well, they're paid.
Or, okay.
Our
That's great.
internships are paid. I mean, it's hard work out in the sun. So
Sure.
really what it equates to is it's their internship. I have to fill out, I work with their instructor from up there. I fill out paperwork and kind of review them at the end to make sure, he wants to make sure that they've done what they're supposed to be doing. But it's a
Do they
good
get
partnership.
Credit then?
They get
College credit?
yes, they get a
Okay.
college credit
That's great.
for it.
Yeah.
And so is that like folks that want to learn to work in kind of parks and rec
Uh-huh.
type spaces?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yep.
Actually, Tim came. That's how I got Tim.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So their parks program up there and their DNR natural resources, they kind of have 2 different programs. Yeah, you're kind of required to take an internship some point in your college,
Okay.
2 years. So yeah, you get college credit and then you just go work for somebody and do the paperwork and internship.
That's awesome.
So we're competing with like Coralville and Cedar
Yeah.
Rapids and Iowa City and Johnson County. We're competing against all those. They're doing the same thing we're doing. So
So how do you make North Liberty extra attractive?
Well, look
The
at
force
it.
of your personality? Is it just like
pay.
Yeah.
We got to stay competitive with our pay. I mean, that's the number one thing. But I think we have a very good work environment down in our department. So that's why I think that's the reason why when we get someone here, they'll be here for 4 years,
Oh.
3 to 4 years. So keep coming back.
Guys, circling back on the ice rink,
Mm-hmm.
when you said it's done, is it done for the year, or is it just that whole structure is now broken?
No, it's not broken.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a block of ice that the sides blew out on, and there's no way that we could
Got it.
ever
Okay.
put it back together
So it could be
with all
back
that
next
ice.
year. So
Yeah. So I think what happened, it got over capacity, and it just wasn't strong enough to hold. We're going to check out the strap system that's underneath. I mean, it is getting a little old. I don't know if some of that may have failed too. We may have to replace some of the straps and buckles underneath of it.
Well, I do blame you for the snow anyway. At the last meeting, you had said something about we're supposed to get a little snow coming up here.
Yeah.
Forgot about
We
that.
got it,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yeah.
If you could see guys' pictures,
Yeah,
would
they're all
remind
snow.
you of the snow that was out there.
That's just a sample of what we do. So we clear about 24 miles of trails.
Wow.
I don't know, about 6 or so miles of sidewalks.
And then you did it again.
Yeah, and over and over and over,
Over and over.
Yeah, it's just, repeat. So, and a lot of our trails are so close to the road that we're sharing with the street where we're putting the snow. So we just get to a point where we just kind of pull and let streets finish up, and then we'll go out there and try to get rid of everything that we can. We try to throw it the other direction or push it away from the street if we can. So
I like that you're sharing that space.
Yeah.
Very nice way to put
it's
that.
Well, North Liberty trails have a reputation of being clean,
yeah.
cleared
Yeah.
of snow and ice as compared to some other area trails.
The dog park is another one that's on my route actually, and it's if I don't get out there at a certain time, I mean that's back down. People have already been there.
Mhm.
Regardless. I don't care if it's raining or snowing. The same people are there at the same time every day.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a popular place.
Packed in the cold.
Yeah.
I had a question brought up about ice fishing.
Mhm.
What are there regulations? What about ice fishing?
Ice fishing, we allow it. That's the main thing. We did pass an ordinance. I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, to allow ice fishing because our ordinance before didn't allow it. So if they go out there to ice fish, it's at their own risk, and they have to follow all the DNR rules as far as you have to have a fishing license, and if you catch something that's not big enough, you're just like a bass or something, you have to release it back. So they have to follow all the DNR rules.
Probably not a good time to go ice fishing right now, though.
That's probably not.
Some yesterday.
Yeah,
Wondered
I
about.
the ice is looking a little thin. It's like I wouldn't be out there, but
Yeah.
I guess the other question would go with that: who enforces the regulations? Is it
the DNR
honor
could
system or is it
the DNR could they could swing in at any moment. Yep. Mhm.
No.
They stocked them. They helped. We collaborated with the DNR. They stocked them, and so that means that they have their rules apply to all that. So it's not private; it's public.
Do we know if all the trout got caught before?
I don't know, but people will be out there fishing them in the spring. But we very seldom see dead trout when the water gets too warm. When it gets to a certain degree, then the trout won't survive. So I think they fish them all out.
Other questions for Guy?
Guy, do you want to kind of update them on the little shelter area by the rec center, what you're kind of doing there for
Yeah.
the rec department, I guess?
So the bike shelter on the north side of the rec center, it never got used much, and when it also sustained a lot of vandalism all the time. So the restrooms have been locked up for forever. We worked Mark up at the community center. He's always wanted a area to do janitorial maintenance out of. So worked with the high school. They have their construction program there.
Huh.
They framed it and closed it in, and we're finishing off the inside. And That's going to be like a work area where Mark and his crew can go out there and work on something that needs, for the rec center, woodworking, metalworking, whatever needs to be done. So his tools and stuff will be out there. It might free up a room or closet.
Some of the bigger equipment will go out there that sits in
Yeah.
a little tiny
Yeah.
room
Yeah.
right now.
Right
and-
now.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So
that'll be kind of nice.
So how big is it?
30 by
Yeah.
24, something like that. 30 by 24.
Yeah.
There's a garage door on it, and
Yeah.
there's a
That's
bathroom. in
nice.
there.
There's a bathroom in it.
It's a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Well, a lot of projects that Mark works on, they wait till springtime, summertime, and they're usually outside the back door doing cutting
Painting or
wood
staining,
and
yeah.
all that, staining, doing all that type of painting, whatever, fixing whatever. So this will be a good spot for them to really work on things and work on them year round
Oh, that's
versus
huge.
piling up a lot of projects come summertime to work on.
So it's heated. It's heated.
Yeah, it's
and
heated.
Has
We
air
put
conditioning.
heaters in
Okay.
it.
All right, cool.
Insulated. Tim insulated the ceiling in it. So
Awesome.
About how
Collaboration
far-
with the school. That's good.
Yeah.
Good program.
this will be the third or fourth project that we've had them help us with.
That's
That is
great.
so cool.
Yeah.
And that's really nice that they get work where you can. It's like it's a real job.
Yeah, exactly.
That like really is helping a city. Like,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Well, I think there's a contractor, and he's the one who promoted this at the school, and so that's why they have this program. But however, I have heard maybe a year, he may be only doing it one more year. Then I don't know who would pick it back up. But I think it's an awesome program. These
Practical.
the students up there, you can tell they just enjoy what they're doing.
It's just great life
hands-on.
skills. You don't even
Yeah.
have to go into that field, but if you ever own a
Right.
house, like it'd be so. I wish I knew that.
It's one of those things. We were just talking without a community newspaper now, those things like that we don't.
Yeah. We don't hear
anymore.
about.
Talk, things that are going on in our
Mhm.
community. I mean, social media and those type of things, but there's still something about
Newspaper.
somebody reporting, putting it to that status. But I don't know. Somebody out there is.
Do we have a time frame yet on that?
Well, the snow kind of
Right. Yeah.
hurt that, but we're since there's a lot of cinder block wall in that, there's no way for us to insulate that. So we have it's called polar paint. It's microscopic beads that are in paint. So you put 4 coats on. It's supposed to give it a really good insulation value. So that's probably about the last thing we have to do, and install a hot water heater. It's one of those little mini ones above the sink. So then we're going to turn it over to Mark.
Cool.
So
Everybody's aware. That's that small building, the North
Mhm.
parking lot on the east side of the parking lot there.
I wanted to ask about the Centennial Park, but it also can occur in some other parks. So, is there any policy or treatment about like the dog poop? So yesterday, so the snow is being melted, and then yesterday in the Centennial Park, the children's playground, in the middle of the children's playground, there's a giant, dog
Okay.
poop,
Oh, no.
and the kids are still running around it. It's
Yeah.
the color is very similar to the ground. It just kids are very easy to trip on it.
Yeah.
So I wonder, when this happens,
Yeah, it's
is there anyone to clean it or?
well, now that I know about it, I'll have my guys go around.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
is in the younger kids area, like
Okay.
in the middle of the multiple bouncers.
Yeah, that's good to know. A lot of those things that, residents such as yourself, just let us know. I mean, that's a good heads up. Then we'll go out and make sure that it gets taken care of.
But I do want to say that I noticed on my walk the last few days that it is just horrible.
Oh,
Like,
no
I
one
don't know
picked
if
up?
everybody just
Yeah.
has forgotten what the
Don't pick it up.
Yeah, do we have a-
ordinances are regarding
Yeah.
picking up your own dogs.
Yeah.
But it just makes all of us look bad, and it's not a good thing for,
Yeah.
kids, dogs, people.
Anyone.
Yeah.
The thing is, do we have like a policy or can set up a policy like to better like help people behave better? You can't like forever clean it up right afterwards.
We supply bags,
Mm.
the bags in all of our parks,
Mm.
and I know they're getting used because
It takes so
the order is like it's just flying out the door. It's like, wow, we spent a lot of money on those bags.
But it's not even on just the trails. I noticed at the dog park, people are getting you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know if it's cold or
Yeah.
what, but we just all have to remember
Yeah.
we need to clean up our,
Yeah.
Point. want to be
I mean,
good.
I do notice people that will just pull up at the dog park, they put their dog in there, and then they'll go back and sit in their car.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I know those people are probably not picking stuff up.
no.
Yeah.
It's not a free poop zone.
Oh, no.
Just everybody to be responsible. Be responsible.
Well,
citizens,
I mean,
and we
it's
have
all of our community. Yeah.
Yep.
as we do approach the snow melt in the spring, we want to remind everybody of that.
While we're on the dog park, we are changing the access code here real soon. So you may have already gotten the new code. The old code will work until we get it changed, and you'll have to switch over
Was
to
it
the
on
new
that
code.
letter I didn't read?
Yeah,
Probably if you got a
You'll,
letter.
you'll read it when you find out that your old code doesn't
Doesn't
work.
work.
Yeah.
Throw the dog.
So, well, this Friday, Angela said that we could change it, so it might be next week that when we get to it. So,
It's another reminder, being responsible.
Yep.
And, that's just for everyone's safety and responsibility that we do that, so that we know that the dogs are out there are the ones that should be. And
it doesn't stop all of them because some of them jump the fence and some of them reach over and open it. And but it helps.
anything else?
Or we can't have nice things. That's what my grandfather used to say.
Yeah.
We won't be able to have nice things.
Unfortunately, the grass is just dwindling. It's hard. Too much traffic, but to me, it's showing the demand that we need another dog park or need to expand.
Dogs. Do we do a dog census?
Well, there are a
Probably more
lot of
dogs than kids.
Probably.
And there's actually, I think you'd be surprised how many dogs from other areas come to that dog park, like from Coralville or, you know what I mean? I don't know what the breakout is, but
Does Coralville have a dog park?
Well used.
They do?
Yeah, down by, what's it called? Shoot.
I only knew about the Iowa City
it's
one.
down by Walgreens, right?
Um,
Isn't there a small one down there?
I'm thinking the little peninsula.
Oh, the peninsula one is
That's
Iowa
Iowa
City.
That's Iowa City.
That's Iowa
Coralville
Peninsula.
is,
Yeah.
shoot.
Coralville.
I could always look it
Tiffin
up.
has one.
Yeah, Tiffin has one.
They're
Yeah, it's a very popular area, just like the pickleball courts. The two most popular outdoor.
You know what we could do? We could have pickleball and the dog park, and the pickleball people will patrol the dog park
Yeah.
people to pick up their poop. There you go.
A win-win, right?
It's a circle.
Or we get some T-shirts that are really judgy.
Make sure that's noted.
No, like pick up your poo.
Well, I was going to say pickleball players are entirely too focused on trying to remember what the score is.
Oh, no.
That's super difficult.
No, I'm telling you, if a dog pooped on a pickleball court, they
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
yeah,
on
yeah.
it all over.
This is true.
They
This
would
is true.
take care of it.
Well, we in no way want to start anything. Pickleball players and dog owners.
Oh, my God.
We all want to, the farmers and the cowboys need to get along. Okay, thanks. Anything else for Guy? All right, well,
Thank
No,
you.
just want to say thanks
Thank
for all the
you.
work your team has
Yeah.
All the
done
snow.
You're
with
very
all
welcome.
that snow. That was super impressive, getting in and out of the rec center. And I didn't use the trails, but just
Yeah.
the fact you could get into that building after 30 inches of snow was amazing.
Yeah, I use the trails and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Plus, we had to clear that North Penn Meadows parking lot because of Beat the Bitter. So there's that was 30 inches. That whole parking lot. Oh, that was a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
I think
It was fun.
Beat the Bitter was successful. I think
Yeah.
it was very nice.
Well, the week
nice
of
thing.
Beat the Bitter wasn't so much
Wasn't
Beat the Bitter, but yeah,
Yeah, but
it was nice.
that night ended up being nice. Okay, now Shelley.
Good evening. January is a busy time of year for the rec center as well. Fitness resolutions definitely bring more people inside. The winter weather, like we try and help Guy out and his crew with in between times that they're there. We have a snow blower at the rec center, plus shovels and salt and all that. So we try and help keep up, especially when we get that much snow and that much blowing. So we helped with some of that. Unfortunately, it does lead to everybody tracking it inside as well. So the custodial staff did a great job of keeping up with all the tracking of the snow into the facility. So we did close for 2 days during that storm, which that has not happened in quite some time. But in talking to Guy, it saved him
Yeah.
a lot doing that. Just again being
That did
open
help.
at 6 a.m. hinders him and his crew when they're trying to get everything open up. So, yeah, if it gets really bad, then people should expect we might close the facility. So, but yeah, it does. We try not to do it, but it does happen from time to time. Speaking of the custodial staff, we did have our new full-time custodial individual start, Adam. He worked 2 weeks on nights learning the ropes. And then Mark, the custodial supervisor, he was off for some surgery. So when he got back and released, ready to come back to work, he just last week, I think, switched back to days. His normal shift, Adam's normal shift, 5 to 2, to work with Mark. And we're back to a full team, so that's great. And like I said, it was definitely a challenge between why Mark was gone. We did have some part-time staff help. Dale, I don't know if Dale that retired, came back for about a month. He came back and helped out. And then we had a couple part-time pool staff, Rawad and Ben, that helped out in the evenings. And they worked alongside Jeff, who was our full-time overnight person. And between those guys, they really picked up the slack and helped us stay a little bit ahead of everything going on. So I do appreciate all the hard work that those guys helped out as we were a little short-staffed. So I want to say thanks to them. Like Guy mentioned, we had evaluations that took place and working on budget stuff and had those meetings during this month. January is the start of our winter spring, I guess you would say, classes, programs, and you'll see that in my report, all the different programs that we started. Couple things just to touch on, I guess, aqua programs. We had about 61 registered throughout our different programs there listed. Swim lessons, around 300 participants for our swim lesson programs with Ashley. Leagues started up. You can see 532-ish just in North Liberty for Supreme basketball. We had rookie basketball. That had 80 participants, it looked like. Let's see, what else really stuck out in my mind? Rentals seem to be going strong again. Just people wanting inside use and of the gymnasiums, rooms, etc. So those are still going through. Revenues in the report and other information that normally is in the report. So that's about all I have tonight, unless I'm open to questions.
So what's the population in North Liberty? Is it like 21,000?
I thought it was around 22.
Yeah, I think it's close
So
to that.
when you look
officially.
at this, I mean, look at 13,882 residents used the community center.
That's that's who's in our database.
I know, but that's a lot of people out of that's a huge percentage of the population of the people. That's
Definitely
incredible.
a wide variety. It does include, both adults and children and grandparents.
Is that historical? Like versus like right now, 13,000 of the 22,000 people here now are registered, or is that start from years back? So it may be people that have moved or.
This is how many actually, I would say, is in our database. Sometimes we purge.
Yeah, I wondered how long those records.
I might have to do some research on that.
Sorry to
No,
give you
that's
a tap.
fine.
Just curious.
Shouldn't
if
have brought it
it's-
up. I'm sorry, Shelley.
It's a high number.
But I mean, it does point out though that through our rec desk, with our program registration or whatever, people we get their information and get in our database, even if they're just going online to look at it or look for programs. It's a great avenue to promote whatever we have going out, and it helps. We were working with the communications department too on how we can combine our database and names and addresses with theirs to try and just, again, make people aware of what we're doing out there. So it's a great tool, and I will check though exactly how many, how long do they stay on, or
Yeah, either way, I mean,
if
it's
they-
incredible.
It's just incredible. So, and is there one person that's designated to like focus on seniors, 55 and above?
I would not say totally focused. Myself, I would say I might take the lead just because I'm closer in the age from everybody else in my department. So I kind of take the lead on it.
Uh-huh.
I do work with Corey over at the library, and we do a lot collaborating there.
Okay.
Zach has done, he started the Club 24 program this last fall. So we kind of do a collaboration and kind of just see what they're interested in and go
Okay.
from there.
I just
So
wondered though.
What's that like big uptick with the new year with folks kind of using the gym facilities? Do you know? Like,
Resolutions.
Excuse me?
Here's-
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I know
Fitness,
that, but
fitness.
like, I'm wondering, like, how much of an uptick is it? You know, I don't know. Like,
I
what?
remember it as crazy when I worked there.
I was going to say, I don't know if I could put numbers on it. It's just a matter of,
There's definitely an
Seeing it.
uptick.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
When does it go down? Is it February? How quickly?
Well, I think Nick might have mentioned a couple weeks, 2 weeks maybe, you know.
You
It's
see a lot of
2
new
or 3
faces
weeks.
till about mid-February, and then all of a sudden you see all the same faces you used to see in November.
It's hard to find a place to hang your coat the first couple of weeks after
It is.
New Year's.
Yeah, so everyone's
Then
real
you got a
gung-ho,
place to hang your
but
coat.
we're kind of on the downside of.
And again, you know, like anybody, you know, that's the hardest thing is to stick with it. So, you know, you start and hopefully you get in that routine and we keep them longer. But again, then some people, you know, once it turns nice, they do their activities outside versus inside. So it varies, but I would say definitely by mid-February, and if not, definitely by spring break, then you'll see a real dip down.
Track usage is always really busy
Yeah.
with cold weather. A
Yeah.
lot of strollers out
Yep.
there. A lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very, very popular.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe you can have another open house for more registration at the beginning of the new year to encourage
Oh, gosh.
New Year.
Oh, during the-
resolution. Or maybe-
At the new year, that's
And then
a
maybe you
move.
get like there's like a T-shirt like if you keep coming until like mid-March, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah, it's like
survivors.
the library's winter reading challenge. You know, you can get a prize.
You
or
got it, but you
something.
have to stick it out. You can't flop at the end of January. You know, if you make it to August.
And we do have some other programs that are doing incentives like that. New Year's resolution. Zach has that challenge going on.
But do you shame people?
We do not shame. No, no.
I think that's kind of an interesting idea if you did something along those lines, like or it's 150 workout club or so, like starting January through December. If you were scan in 150 times, you get
Right.
something. You know, just
Yeah.
it could be a cool little thing to throw out there. I don't know how or what that would look like,
I
but
don't know. What does Zach do right now? What is that one?
The resolution challenge. It's a challenge, I think, for 4 months, and every month is a different challenge.
That's cool.
basically.
okay.
Um, I can't think of what off.
I can't think of what it's called.
One year, Brian, you put the bike miles up on the
Yep.
on the board up there.
Yep.
A little bit of an incentive for some.
One thing I would like to do is try and do that on our slower periods, just not to interfere with the regular members.
Yeah.
You know, just because it does get congested up there, especially 4 o'clock on.
What are
and
the slowest months? I mean, I've been here, but I don't know.
April,
Oh.
April,
April, May,
Tax time.
and then
because that's just like
August.
Clinically depressed.
I've been surprised to see how many would appear to be like high school kids are up there, and I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with it,
In
but I'm
evenings.
kind of surprised they're there and not at the high school.
now they're running
I've
around
noticed a little
making
bit more of that too, high schoolers, which I don't
During
know.
the day?
In the evening.
No.
In the evenings.
Yep.
Oh,
No, they're running.
Or even right after school.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see
that's good.
high schoolers come in.
We get, a lot
one
of Cle-
thing-
we get a lot of Clear Creek kids too that come over and play basketball and use the upstairs. And
One thing I notice is once your membership expires, it just expires. Would it be like beneficial to have a policy say if you continue subscribing the membership before the expiring date, and you get like $5 off or something, to encourage continuous membership.
We can look at that.
Right.
I know because there's the ability where we can say it's expiring in 5 days. So how can we tie?
Right, right,
An
right. There
incentive.
is
Have
email
incentive
about
for
it,
people to
it's,
keep
expiring
going.
soon,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
some kind of incentive to encourage continuous membership.
Membership has its privileges. Yes.
Yeah.
If you want nice things.
If you want nice things.
I like it.
Anything
Another
else?
thing is this past Sunday, it was my first time to use the rental for the party room for my daughter's 2-year-old birthday party, and it went great. And I want to say I am very happy to use it. The rate is affordable, and the front desk even helped me set up all the tables, like to unfold the tables, and even brought all the chairs from another room and also from the library. So I'm really grateful. I think this is really a great thing. Yeah.
I used it for my son's first birthday, and I also appreciate that because, like, a lot of North Liberty, you have more modest homes, and it was really nice to be able to have an option that wasn't in your house. And yeah, so.
Right. The best thing, some rooms that are very close to the campsite, it's just so great for the kids. I just wish there are more rooms that are so close to the campsite, but these are good enough as long as you reserve early.
Yes. Definitely.
Variety. People forget all the different things that are available down at the community center. Rooms that are available. Walking the track is free. You just register. But then all the quite a variety of workout equipment that Brian's
a lot of workout
gotten in there over the years. Yeah.
It crammed much more in there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
amazing how you've organized.
I
it.
was
It's
gonna say,
very feng shui.
is that it seems a bit crowded.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just not big enough for what the wants and needs are of.
I didn't know if there was a rotation program, we only have room for 10 treadmills or whatever. So if we have 15, we pick the best 10 or
We rotate them in and out, new.
or is it just
old,
they
and
all
stuff.
get used so much that you might,
They get used and then we just replace them after we get money from the city and replace X number of them every year or every
What do you
other
do with
year.
the old ones? If they're still
what
functional,
I
do you
was
auction them off? You sell them?
They take them and give us credit for them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
When you say they take them,
Whoever gets the bid
Company.
for
The new stuff,
Company.
yeah, whoever sells us the new stuff.
trade
That's
them
what
in.
yeah,
Trade in value.
that's what
Gotcha.
dumbbells and everything. Like when we
That's nice.
trade our dumbbells out, yeah, we'll get money.
but
back
then
for that.
there's more and more and more. Since I've lived here, it's been
People
Yep.
keep asking for different. there's
I
I was
always
just gonna say
new-
everyone's got a favorite one though, so you
Yeah.
got to be careful because if you
I didn't
take
know
my
you could
exercise bike
request
club,
your own
love
favorite.
works.
even that area that's kind of where the track, when the first phase was done, where the track was, all that equipment on there,
Mhm.
that wasn't there before, but we didn't really want to get rid of it because people like that, but we got new stuff in the other area and they're both kind of different. So we got to keep it, but I had to have a engineer come and make sure we could have all that equipment up there and not,
It's heavy.
yeah, because that's a whole area that, you don't really use a lot and there wasn't really anything up there. So, we kind of loaded it with what's up there now, which helps out on the other machines because there's kind of doubles up on everything and gives you an option. So,
In this last year, our funds got cut for fitness equipment, and I anticipate this next year. I think we didn't get the full request that we wanted for that. So you might see a little bit of, if we have equipment that starts to fail or something, or the older ones, those pieces going, and then we won't have any replacements for it.
was there a
So
reason for that?
just budget
Budget?
during the budget.
Yeah.
If I could find a way to cut, that's kind of where I started.
Because I have to tell you, I think health in the community is walking trails, anything to get people moving, is.
And I heard the same thing from, we have a few of the city people that work out at the rec center too, and they thought the same thing, that was it too crowded with equipment.
Oh, so
That was brought up. So that was part of the reason why.
It is space wise, but I'll just say from my experience, because I'm there, 4 or 5 times a week, that not really the usage is there though,
Right.
because you need to have it all, because if you go at
It's annoying
4:30,
to have
5
to wait.
o'clock, it's otherwise
Everything's used. Yeah.
you lose that
Yeah.
because people turn around and walk out.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
If you
Can't
went
do
up there
anything.
and there was
Yeah.
nothing to do, you're going to lose people left and right, and they're going to go to one of the other ones that
Right.
they
yeah,
can go to.
yeah.
And that affects your community. I mean,
Right.
people don't realize that, but
It's
we all
also
pay
a
for
low
that.
cost
Pretty much
option.
all the space up there is used. I don't
Used.
think there's anywhere else I can put anything else. And
And that's part of puts community in the community center. I've made a lot of new friends by just being beside them on the bike or walking or whatever. And I think part of that is, and then of course there are some people that, don't want to be disturbed while they're exercising, but
And
I
I
think
try to
there's-
add new things or different things. And I ask the people that give me quotes and stuff like, hey, what's kind of the new thing? And they tell me, and we try it and see how it goes. So there are some different things up there usually every year. So
Anything else for Shelley?
I have some suggestions, not from me, but from a community of around 250, like a Chinese parents group.
250 Chinese parents.
Yeah, who most of them, some of them live in North Liberty, some other, in Iowa City and Coralville. But I posted about, me joined the commission and asked for their feedback. Lots of them speak very highly of the rec center programs, swim lessons, and of course the different events at different parks. So some of them brought some suggestion. One is saying that the pool, would it be possible to allocate more time and the lanes for level 3 and up kids who take, I'm not familiar with it, but kids who take level
The
3
higher
and
levels.
up, higher levels.
And actually, that's a hard thing because, as you can see in my report, each level was where our highest need is the lower levels 1 and 2. You can see there, and as you increased up, the numbers go down. Just again, there's such an influx starting them out, and then there's actually 6 levels is what you go up to. But as they get older,
I can let them
some
know.
continue, but a lot of them don't continue. They just need those basic skills of learning how to swim, or we can look at it. But I know the biggest need is those younger
Okay.
ages.
Got it. Another thing is some of them wonder if it's possible to give more time, program, and space during the winter for the kids to burn out energy. And this actually makes me think of the Iowa City Talk Time and also the Solon Talk Time, where in some mornings they use the gym to set up some ride-ons and some slides, for the younger toddlers to
So
play
we
a little bit.
stopped doing that when the indoor playground happened.
Oh, the campsite.
The campsite.
Oh.
Yep.
Because when you have that stuff, it tears up the gym floor. There's rocks that get in the wheels, scratches it all up.
Oh.
It's just kind of so when we built the
campsite.
Campsite is
area,
awesome.
that was kind of our thought of.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
what
no
makes
more
sense.
plan about Talk Time.
It seems
And
like
there is in
that
the
gym's
library.
open though, right? One of those gyms in the morning
yeah,
is
they
open,
go in
some,
the
just
gym.
to like run
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
There's
to
not
run
like
around.
the slides,
Yeah,
but there's
There wouldn't be slides or
Yeah.
cars or anything
Okay.
like that, but they could go in there and run around and do that.
Yeah,
stuff.
library has many
The
toys.
library
too.
has a really nice area for,
Right,
for
yes.
toddlers. Yeah.
Are there balls available that
Yeah.
you can have,
Yep.
so they can go in and kick or play or
It's
whatever.
just more of a keeping the wood and everything looking, because that's what we noticed. Like things would get stuck in wheels, and the wheel
Got
wouldn't
it.
turn, but the rock would just.
nice
Okay.
little gouge
Nice
down the
little
middle.
gouge.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Because we used to charge for that also like $1.
$1.
Yes.
And then when we went to the
$1
indoor
too.
playground, we don't charge anything.
Mm.
I didn't realize the indoor playground wasn't original.
No, it was added when the library addition was added.
When was that?
2013.
Wow.
And what's
Library added, my office was added, and the indoor play area was added. So, and
We kind of shifted the front
the
door.
front door
Ah.
was changed. Yep.
and what was that space for originally?
Originally, it was the entry into the building,
It's the
and then we
entry,
shifted it over, added the campsite and offices.
Campsite was amazing. I was
Yeah.
so sad when that was closed during COVID. Ugh.
Oh.
And actually, that used to be where the entry into the library from the rec side was, kind of where Brian's office is now. So that all got kind of enclosed and separated, and then where the bathrooms, where the existing entry is to the library was moved at that time too.
The indoor playground could be twice the size. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, sometimes I think if I was
It
an
is crazy.
entrepreneur, I would open my own
Yeah.
indoor, because that place is amazing for
And it's
people.
crazy you go in there, you wouldn't know it's that old, but that stuff's been in there that entire time. But it still looks great, and the floor looks great, and
And it is
Guys just
so
look good.
hopeful.
Oh, it's always
Yeah.
it's busy. You know, with my office here, I see and hear every little kid that comes in and looks in my window and comes in my office. So I can see a lot of little kids.
Make lots of new friends.
I do. Yes. Yes. Seniors and little kids like to come and talk to me. So.
Oh,
Hey, be careful. Some
resemble
of us
that
resemble
remark.
these remarks.
I did have a question, Shelley, or I'm assuming this is for you. So I've had some questions from like parents about summer programming for Rexters and Night Riders, because I understand via rumor mill that Night Riders is not going to take place, and this is for the older kids, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade kids who need summer activities. So I've heard some people expressing concern to me about that, because that's kind of what they plan for their kids, in the summer. But I don't know if you could shed light on that, like the decision behind, if I'm right about this at all, not doing that. And if there's any other thoughts for if there's any replacements. I know there's like a 1-day option that's been tossed around, but
That is the direction. Matt Fielder is the one in charge of that program, and that is the discussion is going to just a 1 day. It was Monday through Thursday, and for those groups, what they really like is the field trip day. So that's kind of what we're targeting, is maybe just offering it 1 day and helping and going on field trip type things.
We're talking like 12 kids.
12 kids is all it really.
that's usually how many.
is that
Yeah.
it? Because I heard it
Yeah.
from like 3 different people, so they must have been
Yeah.
like,
The 12.
must have been those
And
3.
there's a nine more you're missing.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, again, it was only like 12 spaces. Really, is 12 individuals is what it was
Some of them
geared
would
for.
go home sometime during the day and just go. I mean, they have their bike. They bring their bike and they just go home, because I mean they're old enough to.
Wait, so what is this program?
It was called Night Riders, and it was originally planned where they would ride their bikes, they would go on bike rides, and then do community service projects. And then usually do the community service projects in the morning, and then in the afternoon they could go to the pool. They would go 1 day set aside for field trips. So they kind of worked it where they were doing community service projects in the morning and then playtime per se in the afternoons. But it just hasn't. Again, there are 12 individuals maybe, and then having the staff overseeing just those 12 doing a separate thing from our summer camp program.
And that was a challenge too. We have 2 staff members, but if they're not strong staff members, you have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders kind of
running around.
That's a
do
different.
whatever they want to do.
I wonder if there's a way to capture something for those 12 those 12 kids as part of like just the standard summer programming. I know my daughter and son have both served as like, I don't know, they call it like junior counselors or something.
Yeah.
If there's a way to augment that programming so the kids could still have something to do.
And we did talk with Matt about that
Yeah.
too, is, because we have 5 spots per se earmarked for junior counselors. Is there a way to increase that? And then can they help out supervising the younger kids, trying to have that building program
Yeah.
kind of thing. Again, Matt was kind of still working on his thoughts on that, but right now he was kind of
think that'd
thinking
be
it was a 1 day.
Because I think those kids
program,
are
so.
seeking something like that, right? And the parents of those kids are seeking something that has, I think the community service aspect was really attractive for people. And so if there's a way to incorporate that service component, like serving in that counselor role, I just wonder if that would work. It obviously enlarges the number of kids there on a weekly basis, but if you put them to work, maybe you recoup some of that too, right? If they're helping
Well, Guy has some openings.
meals. Yeah.
He's got 12.
You take
He
11-year-olds guy, I
can
got one for
monitor
you.
the dog park.
Guys like, I'm not going there.
Unfortunately,
How are you with power
18.
tools?
You have to be 18.
Yeah. Pulling
So-
weeds. Yep.
The big riding
Yeah.
mowers, like the zero-turn
Yeah.
mower.
What is
Child
the
labor
minimum
is bad.
age of employment in the city?
To actually be an employee, we start youngest at 14 for swim lesson aids.
AIDS, so that'd be the youngest. Okay,
That's
because
the
I wondered how
youngest.
that worked. I'm just thinking my own workplace and with liability issues with anybody under certain ages, it's a whole other thing that can
Yeah.
be a barrier.
Well, I'm
So-
even thinking in that facility, you have like the library, for example. Could some of those kids be helping put books away in the library, or like some of those tasks that could be easily delegated to, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, whatever. Or just, making them essentially putting them to work, but giving them a safe space to do it and to learn some skills and also have that kind of semi-supervised summer experience.
And again, that from talking with Matt, that was the hardest, is getting them to commit to those certain days where we had those, if they didn't want to do that, helping out with whatever was scheduled for that day.
They just didn't do it, huh?
They just didn't
but
come. They didn't
Yeah.
come.
Wait, so the parents don't like? Guess not.
Well,
They're not all
very
like
familiar
you.
with that age. The tweens.
Yeah.
the
I'll try and
tweens-
get more information
tweens age
from
is
I
Matt.
was
and
like, this is
follow
the
up.
person you're
No,
looking
man,
for.
for my daughter especially, I know she'd be interested in something like that, and my son, who's
Yeah.
kind of aging into that bracket too. So I got two for you, and I can promise they'll be there.
I need a babysitter. I'm willing to pay.
I just want to avoid the boredom at home. That's that weird age, right? Because like they're too young to work, but they're too old for like a real day camp
I
or
don't think
something.
they are they too young to work?
To work all day to get them out of my hair. So
According
when
to
I'm
the
working at
government.
home, they're not, knocking on the. What are we gonna do? Like,
No, but the government.
I just think there's
child labor
possibility
back,
there.
so
I don't know what it looks like. I have no
real
idea,
shady.
but I just wonder if there's a way that
It is. I know,
some
to,
sort
to
of
be creative for
arrangement
that
can be
tween
created.
age is
Yeah.
difficult,
Stop
but
by the
just
office
think
and
about
Yeah.
ideas.
catch Matt on the side and see what else.
Yeah, I'll stop in sometime next week.
You know, it would be kind of cool if there was like some entrepreneurial, program for the summer for kids of that age.
And I'm
You know
wondering
what I
because
mean?
you want to avoid that where they don't show up and then you have these tasks planned you can't do. So that's probably the hard part is okay, what tasks are
Yeah.
maybe not mission critical? That if some
How-
kid
and
doesn't
how
show
well do
up,
they
you're
do
not.
The task is the other thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
if they don't want to do it, they're
Yeah.
These are life lessons.
Mm.
This is what you have to do
But-
as an adult.
Sometimes let the youth
don't
come up
understand.
with their
Can I take my phone with me
ideas.
and do that task?
Yeah, that is a problem.
I mean, it's,
Maybe.
if it's the morning is doing something like that, then the afternoon, like you said, is kind of pool. I mean, every kid, or they go home at that point. It doesn't really matter because they're not affecting.
And
So
maybe
what
if
is
they
the
have some
age,
input
Shelley?
into the things
What's that
they
age of
want to
that?
do.
Like middle school, basically.
I don't have the exact age. I'd have to get with Matt.
You know what the ages
I
are?
think it was maybe seventh.
I know our
seventh,
summer
eighth
camp-
grade,
our
sixth,
seventh-
seventh,
Seventh
eighth,
grade.
going into sixth, seventh, and
I
eighth
don't know
grade.
if it's eighth
Our sa-
graders, but I know it's sixth and seventh.
6th and
graders.
7th.
Okay.
I
So
think
what
it
is that,
was.
12, 13, 14, kind of right there?
13.
Because I have an eighth grader, and there were seventh graders that are in his grade that were in it last year.
Okay,
So
Mm.
I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing at
that's-
this point.
Yeah, because
Just-
summer camp goes up K through
Six,
6,
yeah.
and so it's 7th, 8th. I don't think we had any
I don't think we have.
ninth graders. I think it was
Well,
pretty much
yeah.
6th or 7th and 8th.
okay.
That's an issue. I know a concern of activities for the
Right.
tween and teenagers in the
Yeah.
community as we start looking ahead and looking at forward to things to do. I know that discussion in the past about skate park down the road, those type of things for the young people around. So we're thinking about those things, staffing, facilities, everything comes into play, but
Liability.
and it is good to have the input. So we hear from our constituents as to what they would like, and it is a lot of times it's that fine between parents and kids is kind of coming up with that perfect, that thing. And I know we have a youth council that's primarily high school kids, isn't it?
High school.
But they may have some way they have some input of coming up with some ideas for what young people would like to do and that type of thing. So keep them involved.
Well, we do have the, out on Penn Street, when that gets all done, that where Pizza Ranch and the bowling alley and stuff like that will be a nice addition for that age group.
Be some facilities that'll be available.
But of course, that's
I've
commercial.
never known the initiative that the golf course ever take with have kids golf or anything.
Don't
We've worked off them off and on. We've done some golf lessons during the
Yeah,
summer.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had that. So
Different things. We're
Tennis lessons. It's another one. Tennis.
still growing and encouraging people, like if you don't have access to the internet, come get the book at the rec center, so you have an idea of what everything that's going on. And if you have, neighbors to encourage, and there are scholarships or reduced rates are there for
Yeah, financial assistance.
financial assistance for people that come forward. We want to offer things for everybody, and our staff does a great job, and we want to keep doing that. So, anything else for Shelley? We haven't picked on Brian too much. All the numbers of the kids in the basketball
Kids.
officials and everything going.
Yeah, they're all high school basketball players or football players or whatever. So
How about an update on NLCBS program?
I don't know much what's going on. I know they're adding some teams are going to start
Yeah.
coming and playing in the older divisions. They're going to start to come play from other towns. So they're kind of expanding that a little bit. So other than that, I don't.
So is that the shirts that say SLBS? What do they say? What's the one that starts with an S rather than an L?
And all
Ours-
CBS.
Ours is Supreme.
Supreme?
That's
Okay.
yeah, that's the between Coralville, North Liberty, and Tiffin.
Okay.
Yep.
Supreme League. Is that
Supreme
what
League.
Supreme League? I noticed the difference in the shirts kids
Yep,
are wearing.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the shared program.
Anything else? I know Shelley included a whole list of the upcoming events that are going on in the community. And of course, we just went through Beat the Bitter. And the lights are around for the whole month. Is that right? The
Yep, that
lights
is
are
right.
around North Liberty. It's beautiful weather evenings to get out there and walk around the lights. That's beautiful to notice. The Snuggie Crawl, that people know if they're participating in that. And you have Seniors Connection, say lunch potluck. Are they doing a potluck among the group?
Yeah, Beat the Bitter during this time period. So on February 9th, so not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, that Friday's luncheon, we're going to move it over to the library side and go up to about 50 individuals or 50 spots. So you still have to call in and register, but it is going to be sponsored by Beat the Bitter, so free to the seniors that sign up for that luncheon.
To me, every Friday you have a lunch. What is it, $5?
$5.
$5 for a lunch
person.
every
what you
Friday
said.
for seniors. So we do it for everything. Right around the lights, I assume, is that the bicycle?
Mhm.
I don't know what he calls it, the rickshaw type. They are here and provide free rides, right?
Are they free? I can't remember
I believe
from
so.
last year. I think it is.
Yeah.
Last year it was free, so you
Okay.
bring your family down. It's beautiful to ride around the back. Those people take you around on the bicycle. That's coming up on the 10th. Oh, then North Liberty Night down at the Heartlanders. I assume tickets are going to be
Discounted tickets.
discounted tickets are going to be available.
And again, that's all part of Beat the Bitter events.
The 3-on-3 basketball tourney. Do we know? I've got much of a sign up. That's where anybody can form a team and show up and play. Isn't that right?
Yeah, actually, Jonathan is working with Mike, who's working with the youth council. The youth council is kind of putting that one together. I did
Was
not.
there an age bracket on that one? I don't remember. But it is just anybody in the community for some fun. You can get together,
The flyers are up at the rec center.
Yeah.
I just can't recall all the details of it.
Sip and stroll, isn't that
What
the
is-
wine
yeah, what's-
tasting around the?
What's Sip and Stroll?
That's again part of Beat the Bitter event
Uh-huh.
around Liberty Center, where I think they have different tasting
Vendors.
vendors.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Just
Have you seen
walk
the
around
snuggly
and-
one? Where they
Oh.
get in a snuggly?
No.
that's the Snuggies.
The
No,
Snuggie
snug. Is it snug?
Snuggie crawl.
So wait, what's the Snuggie
Snuggie
Crawl?
is this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snuggie is
That
this
was-
You haven't
weekend.
seen the pictures from those?
Wait, what?
They wear those.
The onesies?
They wear those things that you get from your mom that you don't want for Christmas.
No.
Oh.
Sorry, mom. Anyway,
Sorry, Mom.
but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
wear-
yeah.
And
They're
then they
Snuggies.
go.
So you wear those and you just walk around.
No.
Go to the. They go.
Bus.
To the,
Snuggie crawl is separate from
Yeah.
the Sip and Stroll.
It's a bar crawl.
Yeah.
It's a bar crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instant Snuggies.
That
There's a
sounds
There's a
fun.
bus that takes you around and stops.
There's
at
a
spot.
bus.
You get special
Go
treatment
to,
if you
you'll
buy
see it if you get
Amy,
online.
they have a good time.
They're-
Beatthebitter.com.
I was like, wow, that
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah, you'll see pictures there if you go to beatthebitter.com.
Okay, polar puzzle sprint though. I'm not. What's the polar
What is
puzzle
that?
sprint?
Again, I believe that's the library. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I
Something
looked
like
that up because I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, you play and like you try to finish a puzzle first, but
Oh.
it's like but you can
It's a
bring
puzzle race, basically.
it's a puzzle race, but it's BYOB, so or BYOD, whatever. And so you bring your own, and you have a
Jigsaw
lovely
puzzle.
time. I was like, if I didn't have a kid, I would be there.
So you
Okay,
bring your own
that's neat.
puzzle?
My wife.
You
has
no,
a
you don't bring your own puzzle. You bring your own drink.
Oh,
So you can
okay.
have some alcoholic drinks at night while you.
Mhm.
Drinking and
Puzzles.
puzzles.
Oh, it's an adult.
It's like the
event.
best
Okay.
date
Heck
ever.
of
I
a
think it's a
puzzle.
great idea. But sorry.
We've got in the euchre tournament. I mean, February's just packed, and it's beat the bitter, but sometimes it's too bitter to get out and go to things. And now we got the weather; it's great
Yeah,
to do
it's
it.
like great.
So we hope everyone get out and support these things. Appreciate staff for doing and a lot of creative things. I've always said
Yeah, whoever's coming
North
up with these
Liberty is known
ideas.
for
Yeah.
unique events, and I think that's a good thing. We have a lot of creative people on staff that create things for all ages and a variety of interest, and that's what makes for a good community. So
And they take great pictures of them. So it's wonderful because you kind of relive it. It's great.
That's the communications department.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a really good, they
Yeah.
do a good job. Not to diss your pictures, Guy. Your pictures
Oh,
are
hey, I don't even try to compete. I just
get them out there on social media. Win an award. Anything else to come before us tonight? Hmm? Well, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved to adjourn.
I second.
A motion and a second. Any objections to adjournment? Next meeting will be March 7th in this spot. Meeting adjourned.
I will not be here for the.